Oh, what's happening, fantasy football? It's your boy, Soupy. And I'm coming to you with our last episode of 2024. Top 5 sits. Do not set those lineups until you hear these top 5 sits. Oh, I got something on the stove and it's cooking. What's going on, fantasy world? It's your boy, Soupy. And we're going to go over these top 5 starts for championship week. Facts, not feelings. First off, we're going to start off with our number 1 pick that you have got to get in your starting lineups. If you had a quarterback that has not been doing good and you need to stream somebody real quick, this is that guy. He is going to be a top 10 play. Bo Nix versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati ranked 27th versus the quarterback and giving up fantasy points this year. Cincinnati is giving up 231 yards per game through the air. Mason Rudolph just threw for 223 and 2 touchdowns. Cooper Rush threw for 2 touchdowns. Russell Wilson went off for 414 and 3 TDs against Cincinnati. Lamar Jackson went off for 323 and 4 TDs. Justin Herbert, 362 and 2 TDs. Lamar Jackson, the second time they played, 403 yards and 4 TDs. Jalen Hurts, 273 yards and 4 TDs. Do y'all hear what I keep saying? 4 TDs, 4 TDs, 3 TDs, 4 TDs. I know y'all hear it. Look, man, these are the facts. Jaden Daniels, 239 yards and 3 TDs. Running QBs kill Cincy. A lot of those guys scored on the ground, giving up multiple TDs. And who is Bo Nix? We know that Bo Nix has capable receivers. We know Bo Nix is a gunslinger. We know Bo Nix is in a winning position right now. We also know that Cincinnati is giving it up. They giving it up. You have got to, and I say got to, if needed, get Bo Nix into your lineups. 341 yards, 3 TDs. He's going to be good for 28.6 points. He will be a top 10 pick. Bo Nix goes Vin Diesel in Fast and the Furious Championship Edition. Yeah, you heard it from the soup. Our second player that you must get in your lineups in week 17, Bucky Irving. That's right here in Tampa Bay. He's going versus Carolina, ranked last against the rush, giving up the most rushing yards right now in the NFL. 11 games out of 15 RBs ran for over 100 scrimmage yards against this defense. That's right. 5 of those games, 130 plus yards. Last time they played, Bucky Irving, 185 yards and a touchdown. This is a championship season. This is a no-brainer. In week 17, there's no need to be lucky if you start Bucky. 21 touches, 143 yards, 1 TD. He'll be good for 22.3 fantasy points. He will finish in the top 12 this week. You heard it from the soup. Our number 3 player that you have got to get in your lineups in week 17, Breece Hall. Ooh, Breece Hall hasn't been doing what we had drafted him to do this year, but in week 17, he is going to take you to a fantasy championship. They're going against Buffalo, ranked 30th in the NFL. There are only 2 teams giving up more points to running backs. Buffalo giving up 12 rushing touchdowns in 15 games. Last time they played, Breece Hall had 23 touches and 169 yards. The weather in Buffalo will be cold. They are going to run the ball. Could be a snow game. New York Jets will look to expose Buffalo's run D. In week 17, stand tall and start Breece Hall. 24 touches, 131 yards, a touchdown, good for 20.9 fantasy points. Hey, man, you heard it from the soup. And our 4th player that you have got to get in your lineups, ASAP. And I know he was on my sit list last week, but this week he is on my start list. There is no defense that's going to hold down Jauan Jennings. Versus Detroit, the number 29th ranked against the receiver right now and giving up fantasy points. Detroit, 2nd weakest secondary in the league. Purdy catching fire again, coming off a top 10 finish in week 16. San Francisco will have to pass to stay in the game with Detroit. In week 17, start the Joanna man. Jauan Jennings, 8 receptions, 114 yards, and a touchdown. Good for 21.4 fantasy points. Man, you heard it from Soupy. And our last player that you have got to get in your lineups in week 17, Terry McLaurin. That's right, McLaurin, not McLaurin, McLaurin. Jump in that bitch, hit the start button, hit the gas, and I'ma smash on your ass. That's what y'all gonna get versus Atlanta. Atlanta ranked 30th in the NFL. Their pass defense is trash. 6 TDs Terry McLaurin has put up in the last 4 games. Going against the second worst pass defense in the league, Jaden Daniels is playing out of his mind. Jump into your McLaurin and ride off into the fantasy championship sunset. A winner. Terry McLaurin in week 17, 7 receptions, 141 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's going to be good for 29.5 fantasy points. He will be the #1 receiver in fantasy football in the championships. Get him in your lineups. Those are our top 5 starts for our last episode of 2024 and the fantasy football season. Come check us out next year on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. The soup is hot. Also, come check us out for our top 5 sits this week. Do not set those lineups until you hear these top 5 sits. Yeah, let's talk about it. We went from 2,000 views to 18,000 views in one season. That's right, multiplier by 9. Let's multiply them 18,000 views by 9 and be at 160,000 views by the end of next season. That is the goal. Like and subscribe. Holla at your boy, Soupy. You know what it is.